Bring your rupees, you know what I'm saying?
So for those of you who aren't, just so you know, if you're just listening, right now what you're seeing is a blurry dog and her blurry owner sitting behind her.
I'm kind of retarded.
Hi, you must be No.
In syphilis, the treatment is usually with penicillin.
Cheers. Cheers, buddy.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast. Spring break 2021.
Whoop whoop.
Getting crazy in here. Should have worn a tank top today. I wish you would have worn one.
We should have.
I just yeah.
Oh well.
Yeah.
Next
maybe,
year.
Maybe next year.
Danny.
Yeah.
Where were we the other day?
We were talking about spring break.
We were sitting out at. Were we at Fire Forge outside?
Yeah, we had. I had walked over there.
Yeah,
to meet you.
When I was still working, I was at the front of I was hosting.
Yeah.
And for some reason, all this stuff kind of came together. It's like a breeze came through, and like where the host stand is, you're looking right at the street, and some cars were stopped, and like somebody was playing some music, and just the breeze and almost the smell. It felt like middle school, early high school spring break, like this time of year weather, and the cars. It was like we were on the strip or something. It was just this weird moment of like, why does this feel like this?
I didn't feel that at all until like you said that, because I walked there like it was a little overcast. I think the sun was starting to go down. And it had that, like, it wasn't too hot, but it was still warm, and that breeze was just, because you near the water, that breeze is always just kind of swirling, and so that was kind of happening. And then I started thinking about it, like all the music and the cars and the people. Like, man, this is taking me back here.
It was a weird moment.
It really was.
If only it would have been like remix to Ignition playing, then we might as well have been spring break 2K 6.
Yeah, that best times. We used to get so excited for that. Like, do you remember how excited you would get? For me personally, like, I would just, like, the weeks leading up to it, I knew we were going to go to the beach. I knew it was going to be like this week-long thing that you felt like the possibilities, like anything could happen, especially like once you started getting into high school and stuff. You didn't know. People, they acted different on spring break, and anything was
people
possible.
Cut loose.
Yeah, you didn't know what was going to happen.
Our class had a major meltdown one year.
What happened?
Well, that
there was a fight one year.
So
right?
that was the year you and I were drinking warm beer in the shed for the first few days, and then we rode down for like the night, and we pulled up to one of the house, like it was the party house, like somebody, I don't remember how it worked out, but somebody in our grade, I was a senior, you were a junior, and they had managed, like, they got their cousin to be the chaperone, who was, like 28 or something. So, I mean, it was just the party house. And this was maybe like 2 or 3 days into spring break, like, since they'd been in the house anyways.
Yeah.
And we were going over there to the party, and we pull up, and there was 2 of the girls that I graduated with were fighting, like fist fighting some girls I didn't recognize. And I was like, guys, I don't want to be here. I don't want to deal with this. So we left. And then my phone starts blowing up a few hours later. Cops showed up. People were running down the beach. They got kicked out of the house.
I knew that was going to happen.
So that was one of our good friends got arrested.
Mm-hmm.
That was a wild time.
Yeah. There was so many wild things that would happen. It's just people, we were just like kids, and you would find a way to drink alcohol.
Right.
And you're just kids without, it's like the first time that like everybody's in a big setting without, like, you'd find a way, like the situation where parents weren't around or whatever like that. So it was just like a recipe for disaster.
Just bad decisions, fights.
But it's so good at the same
Early
time.
onset alcoholism.
Yeah.
It was that. I
Why
wonder,
did we because we weren't even gonna go, were we? And then we just decided to.
Yeah, well, I think we were like, we don't want to go for the week. Like, we were in our weird little own headspace.
Yeah.
We don't want to be with spring break. We were like, let's just hang out in the shed, be a couple dudes being guys.
Because
and we'll
nobody
go down
was
for
at
a
my
few
house.
days. Yeah.
Because it was like my parents were at the beach or something, and it was just like me at the house by myself or something.
So
And
we
that's
just sat in the shed, played Guitar Hero, just had a good time, watched movies. But yeah, because we had planned to go for at least like a night or a couple nights and just crash at somebody's house.
Yeah.
Because I mean, especially then, even now, like I'm obviously a little more open to going to the beach, but I don't like that's not an exciting.
Yeah.
Especially then, I hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Even just the idea of you didn't have to go on the beach, but did you hate spring break and like
I love spring
like
break.
The beach was the place you went to?
I guess not. Yeah, not so much. I mean, that didn't really bother me, but it's like the expectation is you have to go on the beach and get all sandy and sweaty and hot. And, ugh, God. Hate the sand. It's coarse.
Then you had the ocean wrap its arms around you.
Yeah,
when
with
you go out there.
jellyfish and megalodons.
Megalodons? Okay. Jellyfish, I can't argue with that.
They'll get you.
They'll
get you good.
They just come out from nowhere too.
But jellyfish had pockets. They'd keep rocks and they'd
That's
throw
true.
at sharks.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Megalodons.
We'd be done now. I'm trying to think if there's any other. That was like the big. But like you rewind a few years before that when like, you know, before parties were a thing, when we were in like middle school. Because I don't think
that was the best.
I'm trying to think. We never really did middle school spring break together. I don't think we hung out. Was it more into high school?
Yeah, I feel like you had to have come like one time at least, though, right? Did you ever go play laser tag with us?
Yeah, but that was high. That was like when you might have been in middle school. That might have been
Maybe
when
I
I
was
was like
in
a freshman.
like 8th grade.
Yeah.
You were like 9th grade or something.
Was the first time. But I remember because there was a group that used to get a house when I was like from mostly my grade and then a few people from your grade. Because it was my friend Carrie Lee. His parents were one of the chaperones, and his cousin Kelly, who was also in my grade, her parents, and then her younger sister was in your grade. So a few of her friends would come, and that was kind of they'd get a big house, and we'd just hang out and go to Miyabi's, sit or play. Somebody would bring their PlayStation 2, and we'd play PlayStation at the house. But that was the thing.
Times.
I remember, and maybe y'all did this in middle school, because you're like, your hormones are raging and all. So there was this idea of, because you'd go, like when growing up in a small town, whenever we go to Sumter, one of the things you do is just walk around the mall. But then you're like, oh, dude, the mall here, there are going to be some honeys walking around.
The big mall, like the Myrtle Beach Mall. I forgot about
and
that.
There's always one day where you'd go to the mall, and I don't know why you ever think something good's going to happen, but you just think, oh, yeah, we're going to meet, like the guys would go off, and then the girl group would go off, and we're like, oh, yeah, we're going to meet some babes at the mall.
Yeah.
Our little 13, 14-year-old selves. Never did.
I don't know, man. It's like going to the mall I remember doing that. Like, and it was so like, yeah, what'd you think was going to happen? I don't know. It was so exciting though. Oh, we're going to go, you get some food at the food court.
Yeah,
you go
that's
shop
fun.
around. I was always excited to go to GNC.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I remember
that was one of the
first
best
time-
moments I had. I was like 15 and they asked if I wanted a job there. I was like, I'm 15.
That would have been your dream job back then.
It would have been. Yeah. Hey, you need supplements? I got supplements.
That's the supplement guy.
Yeah, that would have been fun.
There was this girl I remember who came to our school for like a year or two, and all of us in our grade, we all had a crush on her. and then she left shortly after. And then like a couple years later, spring break, walking in the mall, we pass her, and we're all like, "What the?" Well, obviously, we didn't speak to her.
Nobody said nothing. Yeah, classic.
She was a babe.
Yeah, hormones and testosterone ruined everything. It's like it was so simple and like pure, the spring breaks, and then all of a sudden there's just like a switch. Now it was all about the babes. Like that was like everything revolved around that at that point. Like seeing like somebody had to go see this girl, or like trying to meet some girls, or like going to the mall to troll for whatever. It's like everything revolved around that. That's literally it.
And it's like, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna get our parents to like are your chaperone parents gonna hang out with our chaperone parents so we all can hang out?
Yeah,
which they might have enjoyed that. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's part of the reason. Like when it was like everybody's first time without the chaperones. Like once you got into high school, it's just a mess, man. I bet people had so much like random sex I don't even know about.
Probably
like, people like I don't know. Maybe not though.
I'm sure some people did. Yeah, I don't know.
You would think so, though.
We could ask somebody.
We could probably ask some people. So, I don't know. It was just a wild time. And I wonder what, like, kids are doing now. I remember, like, at this time last year, we were, like, shaming people for doing spring break and everything, especially in, like, Florida. But it seems like this year everything was kind of just normal.
Yeah.
Like, I know I had, like, some of my nieces and nephews go to the beach. I assume they're doing like the same stuff now.
Yeah, you assume. And like when we were in middle school, some of the people, I didn't get a cell phone until I got my driver's permit. Like that was the rule in our house. You don't need one until you're on the road, was how my parents thought about it. But a lot of my friends had them. But now everyone does. So there's probably the amount of like these little girls on the beach, like Snapchats to the boys at the other house, and then the fellas, you know, snapping them and their little 6-packs over back to the girls on the beach. So much probably easier to me. There's probably more random sex happening now.
It's probably just a sex fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still the problem with the parents, though.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep an eye out on the kids, you know. They be porking out there.
Yeah, one of the biggest things was getting ice cream too. You had to
at
go
the Yum Yum shop.
Yeah, you had, and the fudge at the Yum Yum shop too. Whew.
And I remember one year, I think it was probably like 8th grade. All of us fellas thought it was cool. We all bought pink Yum Yum shop shirts, so we'd wear them.
Okay,
it was pretty cool.
Yeah, you had to get that shirt, and then the big thing was like the Village surf shop down there. You had to like get something from there.
Literally just because it had like painting on the wall. That's why we all thought it was so cool.
Yeah, it was like this little shack. It was like I don't know, maybe this idea of like the beach living, like almost living on like a little surf shack on the beach or something.
Island living.
Yeah, I guess so. I will say though, like I don't know. I used to like glorify the beach so much, like the whole setting and environment. But I go back now and it's like I just want to sit out. And I know you don't feel the same way, but I just want to like sit out on the beach and like for it to be. God,
hello,
mom's calling.
Shout out, Miss Andy.
But just sit out on the beach and like not worry about anything and just relax.
And see, like, I'm more okay with that.
Yeah,
now.
that's
like,
all. That's all I want to do.
It's now for me, it's just a mental thing of like, all right, you're gonna be sandy. But now that Club Shaboobi's a thing, because odds are I'm not going to the beach unless I'm like going with you.
Yeah,
I'm not trying. I'm not just like, yeah, let's go to the beach, guys. Just with random people, you know, not random people, but other people.
Yeah, yeah.
So Club Shaboobi's a game changer. Need to take Josh so we can dig a hole. We can put it in.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's, I mean, having that was probably one of the most fun I've ever had at the beach as an adult.
Oh yeah, that was great because we didn't worry because we weren't. That's the thing. And maybe you can say we've given up. I don't know, but we weren't worried about other stuff. We were worried about us and ourselves and each other. And we were just in the moment doing that, not worried about going to the mall and trying to find what's her name that you that everybody was in love with.
Yeah, because our plan, like when we went last time, because it was a small group of us, all right, everybody, try and do your best not to catch COVID in the next few weeks leading up to the trip. We went and we didn't go anywhere, but like the only places we went like public, apart from like the beach, was like the grocery store, the liquor store, the beer store, and like the gas station. Yeah, and that was it. Mm-hmm. And then because we just bought a bunch of food, we cooked dinner for ourselves every night. We weren't worried about going to restaurants, and we were just hanging out.
Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it. That's what I think the beach is kind of for at this point. It's just nice, just relaxing. I mean, I will say they did change Miyabi's though. That's really sad. We saw that.
Oh, the one we drove. Well, that was a different one, right? Or was that the one we always went to? Mm-hmm.
Sad.
It's sad. Such a great place. That's when I think of the beach. That's one of the first things. Mm-hmm. Is like rice comes in my
rice. Asian rice. Yeah. Big beach vibes.
But something we've never done that I want us to do, like with our friends, is, and the time has passed now, but I want us all to rent a mountain house one year when it's like fall. Yeah. And just do the same thing, but in the mountains.
Yeah. That'd be fun. That'd be really fun. It'd be ideal if there was a hot tub too. I would enjoy that.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I think that would be really cool. I mean, me and you can just do it.
Josh will go. Yeah. Josh is always game.
Yeah.
He's always down for a trip.
That's true.
He could dig us a hot tub.
He could, yeah. Get close to the core so then the hot water comes up.
Yeah. He can just boil pots of water, slowly filling it up, and then he can just constantly fart while we sit in it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
He's game.
Yeah, that sounds great to me. I'd love that.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm jealous of a little bit jealous of kids and spring break.
I'm super
and stuff.
jealous.
It's like you don't have to worry about anything, and it's like this is just like if you're like a senior in high school or something too. It's like your last little moment before you go off to college, like to have fun. I guess you got the summer too, but everybody's compact in this time frame though, so like you're expected to do stuff. It's just a good time. Like I don't know, made the most of it.
Yeah, especially like for us, I'm sure it's different for other people, but we pretty much went to school with the same people.
Yeah.
For the most part, from kindergarten till we graduated high school. Mm-hmm. And I remember that summer between high school and college was the most together you're ever going to feel with that group of friends, because you know it's all winding down, and then you're like, oh, we'll keep in touch.
Yeah,
you do with a few of them.
Yeah,
you know, like the ones that really, really matter, and then the other ones you're happy when you see them, and then some of them you didn't care about them then, you don't care about them now.
Yep.
But that summer was like you just don't know what's happening when you're in it, and then you look back all these years later, and you're like, man, we we're just really close that summer, having a good time, meeting up a lot, doing like parties and hanging out. And then life sweeps
happens.
You away, and you make new friends, hopefully.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's just how it goes, kind of. You can't, I don't know.
It's awful.
Yeah. I don't even remember what I did in like the summer before. I guess because you left me just to rot in Manning.
I left you in capable hands. Tom and Jordan and Jake, Josh.
Yeah, I didn't do much that senior year. I think I like tried to break my toe so that I wouldn't have to play football.
Jesus Christ.
That didn't work, so I did that, and then I don't remember what I did because I wasn't playing music like after football ended. I was just lost. It's all a blur at this point, I think.
Yeah, sorry, man.
Trey?
Yeah, you and Trey did a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm sorry, man. I just had to.
I was looking forward to it kind of being over. I think
high school.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you all like. I mean, I think everyone kind of was.
Yeah, yeah.
But then when you look back and everything, when you look back on stuff, you focus on the good.
Yeah.
Obviously, there was, other stuff. But so looking back, it's easy to just romanticize the whole thing.
Yeah.
Which I enjoy doing that.
Yeah, you do.
It's fun.
I had this thought the other day, just randomly. I was thinking, do you ever remember like being in, I guess I was in high school or like maybe early college or something. I think it was high school. And I was thinking, damn, maybe I had like 7 more years of school left or something.
Mm-hmm.
And like thinking like in that frame, like, oh, I've only been in school for this long and I still have like this much left. And now we've been done with it for so many years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, it's such a weird thing to think about, like trying to take your mindset back then and like think about the future and how like the time's going to be and look and everything. And I don't know. I was just randomly thinking about that the other day because I felt like I was like in the classroom, in that desk, the wooden desk we had. And I was like, man, I got like 7 more years of this. That's so long. But then it flies by.
Yeah.
It goes so fast. Like where is time? What is happening?
Just flying through it, man. Just rocketing through it.
It really is. It just, and it seems to keep like speeding up.
Yeah.
I mean, perception wise, it is kind of, but it just seems to be just going faster and faster. And it's just, I don't know. I've been thinking about that a lot. Just time in general.
It's pretty often I'll like find myself kind of doing that same thing, like thinking like all of a sudden my head will be back in that, like something like that, like film school or high school or whatever. And then like today on my Facebook, one of my memories was from a spring break trip when I was in film school. A few of us road trip from Orlando up to New York City. And it was 11 years ago, and that makes no sense to me.
That really doesn't. That doesn't make sense.
That's insanity.
Mm-hmm. And you came through because I was at Tri-County at the time, and you came through there. And yeah, I guess that's
it just doesn't seem like it was that long ago. But then that's the thing too. Now when I think back, I really struggle to. The time frame of my life doesn't make sense to me anymore.
Yeah.
Like the time between high school and now, I can't really keep track of it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, oh yeah, when I was living wherever, that was in. Sometimes I can't even think of what year that would have been, or like when I started a job.
Yeah, like the
somewhere,
year. Like the years and stuff. It is.
But when you're in high school, you're like, oh, you remember in 4th grade when blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Or in 8th grade when blah 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 blah.
It's all just like in high school because we were in the same place for the whole time. So it's almost like it was on this like linear path, and you can kind of just go back and look, move forward, look. It's just all kind of there. But then once you get out of that, you don't have that structure anymore. So it's all just kind of jumbled up, and you just, I don't know, you mush
You're
it together.
Like worrying about shit, and like you have responsibilities now.
Yeah.
Oh. So maybe it wasn't hormones that screwed everything. I was having responsibilities.
Yeah. Growing up, not staying a kid forever.
Like today, like I did my taxes today.
You finally did them?
I finally did them because I had like a month and a half from the news station early 2020. So I finally figured out how to get that little miniature W-2 from them.
Okay.
Got it all figured out. And my lawnmower won't crank, so I'm finding a guy who can at least come cut my grass this first time. All this shit. It's like, God.
Yeah, it's like
paid my internet today. I paid my electric bill. Like, what is this?
Yeah, it's like that's like my weekend. Like I did nothing. My weekend, I cleaned on Saturday, and then I woke up Sunday, and I was like, maybe I'll do something. Oh, there's nothing to do. I'll just clean more.
The most sterile apartment in Greenville.
Yeah, so, but then to like bring it all in, like it made me feel pretty good.
Yeah,
like like simple stuff like that made me feel actually pretty good. Like
which is nice in a way, but it's also really sad because I cleaned up a little bit. I cleaned up like the front of the house.
Yeah, I noticed it looked cleaner in here.
Yeah, and yeah, like there's a whole difference of like you walk in and you're like, oh yeah. It's nice and tidy up here. When you're a kid, you don't give a shit.
No.
In college, you don't give a shit.
Mm-mm.
Man, dude, I was...
You're leaving stuff everywhere. Like, my mom used to pick up all my stuff when I was growing up, and then, like, I went to college, and then I was still, like, leaving stuff out, and then just over time, it's finally like, just stop being a sloppy little guy. Just pick up your stuff and clean your stuff.
Yeah, dude, my first apartment, like, when I was living on my own, so not even, like, because when I did a semester at Coastal Carolina, but at the time, my girlfriend at the time lived in the same apartment complex. You don't want to have your place messy all the time when there's girls coming over, you know?
Yeah.
Girl coming over. But then when I went to Winter Park for film school, and it was a pretty big apartment.
Yeah.
I didn't keep up with it. It was a mess in there most of the time. I mean, if people are coming over, I'd try and, like, you know, throw all the clothes under the bed or something.
Yeah, that's when you try to do it. It's like when you have somebody or some people coming over, that's when you do your one little cleaning.
Yeah. But now it's like you just feel like you need to be doing something every day.
Yeah, like I got a routine. Like, I clean like multiple times a week, and then especially like Saturday, usually my big cleaning day.
Deep clean
day. Yeah, and it feels good. It's like,
I mean, it does.
Yeah.
And that's the thing too, is like in film school, if I was at my apartment, I was like watching movies or like doing like work or resting, but it was almost like a hotel. Like, you're just there briefly, and then either, because we had class 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, because it was an accelerated program, so you basically have a job in that sense, and like hours wise, and then whenever we'd have projects, we'd usually be at like Isaac's apartment. Shouts out Isaac. Like working on stuff, or just like Isaac and I finally did this for the first time in years the other day. We used to just drive somewhere in Winter Park or Orlando, park the car, and then walk around for hours and just take photographs and talk, and then come back and then look through all our photos and see what we got. So I did that the other day. I just walked down and took turns and just wound up places because the flowers are blooming. I don't know. So it's like there was no like incentive to keep my apartment clean, really, because I was there so little. Yeah. But now that I'm older,
but like,
I love being at home.
Yeah, and you want it to be clean. It's like, I'm trying to think, like, while you're saying this, like, and I don't know how you feel, like, how did you, I'm trying to think of how I felt, because, like, I lived where in a place that it would be fairly dirty sometimes.
Yeah.
I just didn't care.
I didn't give a
shit. And was I oblivious, or was I just used to it? Like, what was it?
It was just so low on the totem pole.
Yeah, I just didn't think about it.
I never had, you know, a cupboard full of clean dishes. If I needed to cook something, I was washing the pot out of the sink to cook it, and it's going right. Everything just stayed in the sink.
Yeah, in New York, I remember like it
just all stayed there.
Yeah,
I didn't care. Yeah, New York, it was still pretty rough. I got a little better, but I mean, I was like 20 years old at that point. Yeah. Atlanta, it was rough because it was two bachelors and our friend Cam, and we didn't give a shit. That was like the ultimate bachelor pad, that place. And then between those, you know, I'm living at my parents', and then I moved to Columbia.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, when I look around my house now, like, there's definitely some clutter, and it's also weird in this house since there's only 2 rooms.
Yeah.
So you just see everything. So in a way, like, if I look over there at that shelf, that kind of feels cluttered, but that's just where that stuff goes, you know?
Yeah.
But like up here, it feels like a normal, I don't know, it's just nice seeing shit's clean, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like that seems to be the normal progression for people too, unless you're just an absolute garbage person. It's like, yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, it starts switching to where you actually care about that kind of stuff for the average person.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just like, I don't know, it's good to have things tight, or maybe it helps you feel in control of some stuff.
That must be what it is.
Because, yeah, everything else is kind of chaotic, and you have very little control over it. So as long as you have control over your little area and your space, kind of helps.
Mentally.
Yeah.
Just not a wreck, like a tornado coming through.
Yeah. I guess that's kind of the basis of Jordan Peterson's stuff.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Little victories. Control the things you can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because only in the past like year that I started making my bed.
I still don't do that. That's like the only thing that I like have that's kind of like messy. Well, I guess anything involving blankets or sheets, like I don't really worry about.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of it.
Shit, man. Little garbage boy.
It's not stinky though. They don't stink even if they're crumbled up.
That's true.
They might though. I don't know. Little animals in there.
Yeah. Big one, little one big one.
She's healthy.
Yeah, growing up sucks. So speaking of things that suck, I ordered some masks on Amazon. Got some new masks.
Said you're gonna read me something.
Yeah, so it came from I don't know where.
Classique.
These are Classique masks. But it's always funny when you get, these things that are obviously made somewhere that's, English isn't the first language, but they're targeting the U.S., so they put their, the text that you'd find on something, but they use whatever is a step below, like Google Translate. So it says health tips, trade name, mask. This product is a fashion dust mask. This product bag can be recycled. The mask can be put back into the bag after use. Carry this product. Please divide the opposite side. Do not wear back.
What?
Do not wear back. Anti-external will stick dust powder.
That makes no sense.
Direct con as one word, tact as another word. Direct contact between mouth and nose will be detrimental to health.
So is it going to kill you?
Maybe.
It sounds like it might kill you.
This was my favorite. Wash the poison once a day. Wash it with warm water first, then hot and hot to dry.
What's the poison?
Listen to this. Wash it with warm water first, then hot and hot to dry.
Yeah, that thing's going to kill you, man. Jesus Christ. This is radiation.
I'm just breathing in death.
Good God.
I don't, whatever.
I get that English isn't the first language, but like, if you're sending out a product, you got to have some person that you could just run this by.
They probably did.
Does this make sense?
They probably that person faked it till they made it. Like, oh yeah,
yeah, it was perfect.
Checks out. Yeah, yeah, it's good to wash the poison away once a day. Sounds
wash the poison once. What could that have meant? I guess they meant to say wash the mask once a day.
I don't know.
Whatever.
Then wash warm first, then hot and hot to dry. I mean, it probably is killing me. I got like 9 of them for like no money.
Just please divide the opposite side.
It's a good point to be made. And historically, I've gotten, as I think I've said on here before, the greatest fortune cookie ever made, which was Here We Go low fat whole wheat green tea. I went to my
similar.
I went to my third Chinese place here in Greenville since moving here because I'm trying to find like my go-to like takeout Chinese.
You go to
not
First
like a
Wat?
sit down. This one was
favorite.
recommended by our coworker Adam. Shouts out Adam. The Great Wall, and it was really good. And now I've gotten what I would say is the worst fortune cookie ever.
How about another fortune? That's it.
So
that's the whole thing. How about another fortune?
And see, that's written on the back of a few brands of fortune cookies, and then it'll tell you the website. But somehow I got a halvesy.
Yeah, it's like you can't even see all the numbers.
Yeah.
Lucky numbers are kind of cut off at the top. You obviously can't see it on there, but yeah, that sucks.
So I'm winning these days.
That
I don't
really
know what
sucks.
this does. No fortune mean that you're about to croak? I don't know. Could be.
It's like okay, good luck next time. Try again. Sorry.
It's a
Come
2020
again.
fortune cookie if I've ever seen one.
Yeah, that's really bad. But the food was good.
Food was really good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's now the new front runner. So
First swap.
I'll try it.
I'm Just think about fortune cookies. I'm trying to think of my last one because I had because usually when I got fortune cookies last time, I had 3.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember it though. One of them was like a halvesy like that though.
Oh, you got a half? That's the first halvesy I've ever got.
Maybe they're trying to skimp out. Maybe supplies are low. And
Paper?
Yeah, and the machine. Well, maybe the machine companies.
Could be.
I don't know what's happening there. I don't know what they're doing.
Poor fortunes.
But they're made in the U.S.
That's true.
Most of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's an American invention, the fortune cookie.
Yeah, it's silly.
I love it though.
They are really good.
They're tasty and they're
they
fun.
They make no sense. Why do you need this fortune cookie? It's not an appetizer. It's not a dessert. It's just like a little cookie. And it's weird. I think it's kind of like the same thing with bread at a restaurant. Why do you need bread first to eat? What does it do?
It's good. It tastes good.
Here's bread. Here's dough that we cook.
Because
so you can munch on.
you're sitting down maybe with friends and family and you want to break bread together. So here's the ceremonial bread. That's
something
ceremonial.
That's kind of maybe religious based.
I don't think so. I think it.
Probably.
I think bread was important to people long before religion was invented.
I don't know.
100%. You need.
Wait,
once we learned to bake and stuff.
When was bread invented?
Also, while you're Googling that, you said something a while back. Whenever we were talking about the tree sperm.
Yeah.
Because you were like, trees are older than pretty much most things.
Plants.
I
said
plants. Well, here's a fun fact. Sharks are older than trees.
I believe that.
Isn't that weird
yeah,
to think about?
That's weird to think about. But I do believe that. That makes sense.
It's so strange.
Yeah. Well, because, trees probably took a while, but sharks aren't older than plants, but they're older than trees.
Older than trees.
Yeah. That is weird to think about. Sharks are ancient, man. I don't know BC.
So, well, this is in Egypt.
8,000
So
BC.
there was religion, certainly, but not modern religion. It was still who did the Egyptians were Ra? Were they Ra the sun god?
I don't know. They had a bunch of gods.
Was Ra the sun god?
They had a bunch of gods.
See if Ra was the sun. I think that's right. If I'm remembering my
lessons. They had a bunch of gods though. They weren't.
Yeah, sun god.
Yeah, they weren't
king of the gods.
Yeah, but they had a bunch.
Yeah, so you know what I mean. Bread. Once people figured out how to make bread, it wasn't religious. Here's your religious.
Let's see. I just saw it. I wanted to try to spell it. Restaurante.
Restaurant's one of the hardest words to spell. I think you forgot the S. Restaurant. What'd you be at restaurant?
It's like restaurante. Restaurant, serve bread.
You're popular today, dude.
Yeah, it's my life. Taverns. Okay, that makes sense.
Another, why do restaurants serve bread is what you Googled. Return. Another is that in the olden days, restaurants were usually located in taverns where one meal was sold per day, so customers were given bread to fill up on, so there would be enough. So there would be. Raw, is that you? So there would be enough of the main course to go around without the tavern owners having to spend too much money on more expensive foods. There you go. It was to.
So yeah, you fill up on this cheap stuff, so then we don't have to feed you more stuff.
Yeast and water.
Mm-hmm.
And we can save, we can skimp on the meats.
Yeah.
And the veg. I like that.
Economical.
The dirty secret behind free bread in restaurants.
Yeah, why? I gotta click on that, right? The dirty secret. Is it dirty? Your restaurant are so when it's about there.
One of the most prevalent rumors about the free bread at restaurants seems to be that allegedly some restaurants reserve the free bread left on customers' tables if they don't eat all of it. Okay, so everywhere's Chuck E. Cheese. That's why that's why Outback is such a classy place, because you get your own loaf.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get your own loaf.
But it's hard bread like this.
You could serve that all day.
Yeah, if you pre-cut it.
Mm-hmm. Certain eaters really do reserve bread. Huh.
A lot of times, if you don't eat it at all, it goes right back in the bread one. Which, Listen.
Is there anything wrong with that?
If you're going out to eat, like
Yeah.
you're already rolling the dice. Like you don't know who's back there cooking your food.
that's
Doesn't
true.
matter how many stars rating. You don't know. You roll the dice when you go out into the world.
Yeah.
You can't control it. So whatever comes your way, you just have to accept it.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't care. Reserve the bread. Just Chuck E. Cheese that bread.
It's like
Who gives a
it's
shit?
also like, think about it this way: it's bread.
Yeah.
Like, what would you rather them do? Just throw it away?
Yeah.
And now you've just wasted food.
You're not paying for it.
I guess it's bread. It's bread.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. And if they heat it back up, I doubt there's any bacteria that's going to harm you on it anyway.
And even if there is, if you're that
But it's
worried
gonna
about
kill
it,
it.
don't eat it.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
that simple.
Like, I get it, like the idea you want fresh bread that's not
Sure.
been sitting on a table with like other people, stuff like it makes sense.
Totally
If, like,
makes sense.
If people are touching it,
You don't
I
want
see what you're saying, but like think about it. It's bread.
Think about it.
And they're just gonna throw it away.
Yeah,
So
you
just
might-
eat it.
might as well eat
Actually,
your-
yeah, I don't mind this.
I
Like
don't
maybe Chuck E. Cheese with the pizza is a little different because it's cheese. You know, it's been sitting out. That's kind of weird.
Grimy kid hands.
Yeah, kids everywhere. But like this is, maybe they should. Maybe they should make this normal.
Apparently it is.
Just reuse the bread.
Listen, a reused Cheddar Bay biscuit is better than any other bread anyways.
Yeah, I mean, you got to think it depends on the type of bread too, because some bread, or whatever this bread is, that looks hard. And if that sits out for a while, that's going to get really hard.
Mhm. That's turning into a crouton quick.
Yeah, so you don't want it to be really hard, but if you have like some soft bread that's going to last a day, let it go around.
That bread looks good though.
So that's a good looking bread knife
that's,
too.
That's
That whole thing looks good.
I like that photograph.
And look, that person's hand is touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're eating somewhere, people's hands that are back, they're touching it. So
Pretty much.
it's like, get over yourself. Look, there's Emerald.
He knows about bread.
He loves bread. He kind of looks like bread.
He does like a loaf of bread, doesn't he?
Yeah. Cheesecake Factory. Have you ever eaten at Cheesecake Factory?
I think I've been to Cheesecake Factory one time.
Never been.
One
I don't
time.
think.
It was. Some people live and die by Cheesecake Factory.
Well, I'm not going to live and die by any of those chain restaurants, but it seems like that was one that like people have latched. There's no way. I've never eaten there, so I don't know. I just think there's no way when you have a menu that's the size of a small novel
Hundreds of items.
that anything's going to be good. Everything they're trying for them to make money, they have to cut so many corners.
And they can't be sourcing it fresh every day because
No.
not enough people are going to order every item. So everything's frozen, prepackaged, probably the lowest of the low quality. But they build this environment to where people probably a lot of people that like we grew up with, where eating out nice was Outback.
Yep. Yeah, we didn't have many options.
So Cheesecake Factory is like the next level above Outback to like people that we grew up with and never ventured out that far to try other places.
Yep. Yeah. No, it's got to be that way.
Simple pleasure for simple people,
I guess
let
so.
them have it.
I mean, that's the thing. We grew up in like such a small town that there was a couple Mexican restaurants, and then there was a couple places out at the lake, but there really wasn't anything at all.
Shoney's,
Shoney's,
Mariachi's, Yucatan, Giorgio's,
Giorgio's,
which is about the closest you get to fine dining and.
But Giorgio's,
Manning.
Giorgio's is actually good.
Yeah, that was good food. I mean, that wasn't a chain.
No,
too.
that's the thing. That was like the one place.
But
we had to travel to Sumter, which was 25 minutes away, to actually go to the places that had the chain restaurants.
Outback, Red Lobster.
Yeah,
Texas Roadhouse.
And then when I was like 20 something, I just thought, I guess I had that mindset too, like, oh, these places are the best because they're the only places that exist.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just chains. Like, I remember being like 22, 23. It's like, oh, yeah, Outback, Longhorn, those are my favorite.
Yeah, I remember visiting you when you were living in Florence.
Mm-hmm.
We went to eat at Outback. Mm-hmm. Like, man, we're going to go get a good meal at Outback.
I literally didn't know. Like, I just wasn't exposed to other places and stuff.
So I was going to ask you a question, but it's an easy answer. So I'll put a little, caveat on it. If you were going to live and die by one chain restaurant besides Miyabi's, what would it be?
Besides Miyabi's, what's like one I've been to in a while?
And not fast food, like a sit down, like Outback Red Lobster type of place.
I haven't been to one in so long, so it's kind of I'm just going off of a random memory. I don't know. I'd like to pick a breakfast place. I think.
IHOP.
God, I don't want to pick IHOP. I
Yeah,
really
you
don't.
just made my choice for me. It's Waffle
IHOP.
House.
Waffle House?
100%. No doubt about it.
That's actually
That's quality.
I can't argue with that because, like, that has the most that has the highest chance I'm going to Waffle House as opposed to anywhere else because I don't know, maybe one night in the near future if it's midnight and super hungry and you're going to Waffle House.
Nothing hits harder than drunk Waffle House.
Yeah, I could do
Nothing.
that. I could do. I mean, I lean towards Outback a little bit, but like I'm going off of my like 20-year-old taste buds, which I don't
Dismal.
I don't think I can like trust that.
No, you can't.
So yeah, I don't know. I
God,
guess I'll say I don't know. Yeah, I mean it's definitely Miyabi's,
Yeah.
but other than that, yeah, Waffle House.
Now I'm thinking.
Denny's.
No, I'm just trying to. Waffle House might be above,
Huddle House?
might be above Miyabi's for me.
Really? It's not better food though.
But that's not the question.
Yeah.
The question is which one would you live and die by? Yeah, it's Waffle House.
I would. I'd be much more upset if Miyabi's went away than Waffle House, though.
I've been to Waffle House way more times than I have Miyabi's.
In the past 5 years, though.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Past 2 years.
Maybe because I've been to Miyabi's once in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
Have I been to Waffle House once?
Probably not.
Maybe not.
Mm.
Either Miyabi's is winning by one or it's a tie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Waffle House, though. We also had Huddle House in Manning.
Huddle House.
That was like the redheaded stepchild of Waffle House.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I need to give Waffle House. I haven't been in a long time. A really long time.
I think the difference was you could there was a smoking section in Huddle House, right?
You think that's still there?
I doubt it.
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. Huddle House that wasn't good, was it? You remember it being good?
I mean, I went there a few times. It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, again, I was a kid, so I mean,
Yeah.
I hadn't really explored my taste buds.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, pizza though. Well, I guess that's fast food, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, yeah. It's got to
It's
be
Domino's.
D-
You say
excuse me?
Papa John's, right?
Papa John's?
Isn't that what you say?
No, I say Pizza Hut.
Oh, you go Pizza Hut.
You can't out Pizza the Hut.
It's true. That's what they say anyway. Yeah, I'm a Domino's man myself.
Domino's is like it's too
Too
much
good?
for me.
Oh.
Just it's too much dough.
What are you ordering? What kind of dough are you ordering?
If I'm getting a pizza from Pizza Hut, I get thin and crispy.
Well, yeah, you just get Brooklyn style from Domino's.
Yeah, I
It's the
don't
same-
like it as much.
Okay, that's fine.
Brooklyn style?
Yeah. Why is that so funny?
I don't know.
I know what you're getting at. You ass.
Sorry.
That's okay. I've made enough stare comments. You owe me a few jabs, you know?
Yeah, but yours is real.
Oh, God. Oh, sometimes you look back and, you know, times were simpler, but then sometimes you look back and they weren't.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Oh, God. I jest.
I'd like to tell the stare story one day on here, but not today's not the day. Maybe Danny can mark it.
Yeah, well, maybe he just decide or do you give a date when it is, and then he can mark it and he'll let us know in however long.
No.
How long you think you need? Month?
Yeah.
I feel like we're past. Even if it was
It's
real,
6 months.
Even if it was real, we're past statute of limitation. Even if this thing
Why
actually
do you even
happened.
need to say that? 6 months.
Danny, you know what to do.
It's an intense story.
It's aggressive.
There's a
that's
lot.
Yeah, I don't want to say. We'll talk about it when we talk about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Danny, he sent us an email, right?
Yeah, he did. All right,
So this is in response to.
Yeah, you.
So this is so he sent us the email from last week that we read you, where I told the story about the guy and I that didn't see eye to eye, and then Danny responded to what we said on last week's episode in this new email.
Yes, I mean, so say somebody didn't listen to. So Danny sent an email like with a timestamp on it saying go back and listen, and then John said something about he wasn't ready to tell this story. Like ask him again in a year. Danny called him out, sent an email, and then we were like, did you timestamp that? Like what? Did you mark it in your calendar or what?
So Danny responds and says, "Hi guys, I will admit that I did indeed set a reminder in my calendar so I could hear the story about bullying when the time is right. As you may recall about my friend group from my debut story on the Greyboys, parentheses, when they pranked me into thinking this girl noticed me at the gym and then posted about me on Craigslist misconnections, in parentheses, we truly appreciate the art of a good long con. So that reminder was completely up my alley. So don't worry, I got you next year. Winky face, Danny. P.S. Perhaps one day I can make a guest appearance, tell everyone the story of an even longer con I played on Zach, one that stayed dormant for years until it was time to execute." It sounds like a good story.
Patience, man. I respect that.
I do respect that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We'd love to have him on whenever.
If you're not in agreement, we can phone you.
Yeah, that was cool. I really appreciated that. Like just setting the long cut. I don't
And
think
that's such a simple one too.
that was really simple. I don't think I've ever done one. Have you?
I'm trying to think of what long con.
I need that instant gratification.
Yeah. God, but that gratification on a long con must be so sweet. I don't know if I've ever done one.
I haven't. I wonder how old is Danny? Is he your sister's age?
I think he's between me and my sister, maybe. Is he 30, 31? I don't know. 16.
16?
He's 16 and a half, I think.
Okay.
17 this year.
Okay. Well, I was wondering if like a little bit of like time difference in age made like the difference in instant gratification.
Probably not.
Because probably.
I think that's just a personality thing.
Yeah, I guess so. But like, I don't know. Like when we grew up like starting with the internet, and that kind of was the beginning of the heavy instant gratification.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah,
anyway.
I can't think of one right off the top of my head if I ever did a long con. Maybe I could think of one later, but I don't think I have.
Yeah, it's
I need
like
to plan one.
I don't even know how to go about it. It's
I'm gonna
like
plan one on you.
okay. I don't think you won't be able to do it. I feel like I'll notice something weird and then you're like, I don't know, you won't be able to hold it in. You don't want to say what it is. I'm just saying what I think.
Give me some credit.
Okay. But then I don't want that done to me.
That's all fun.
Yeah, but I just do it now. Do it now.
Do it now.
Scary.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, I mean it can be.
Okay. What kind of long? I don't even know what I would do.
Yeah, I'd have to sit and ponder on it.
Yeah, it's like I literally can't think of anything. Would it be like? I mean, I guess I could do something like a somewhat long con, where maybe like I fill a beer and maybe I put something in it, and then give you a 4-pack, and one of them has something in it.
Like semen?
Like a toy,
Oh,
like a toy
a
soldier
toy?
or something. I don't
That'd
know.
be
Is that
cool.
funny? It's not even funny.
It would
though.
leach out all the plastics and kill me.
It would.
I would.
Actually, I read something today that was pretty disturbing about aluminum cans. saying so apparently the aluminum in the aluminum can
Aluminium.
kind of accumulates in your brain,
Uh-huh.
and they think that it's had a link to Alzheimer's for a while.
Alzheimer's.
Whatever. But now the certain protein, the tau protein,
Towel?
TAU,
Uh-huh.
is right next to the aluminum and stuff. So now they're thinking like there's a pretty big connection to the aluminum and the actual disease. So that's not good.
That's horrible news for me.
That's really that. And as I was reading it, I was thinking about all the cans of Rolling Rock that you drink, and I was like, oh God, he's gonna die,
I'm not going to die. I'm just going to forget everything.
and then you'll die.
I mean, yeah, we'll all die. Got to die something.
But that kills you eventually.
Alzheimer's?
Alzheimer's. It does kill you.
Yeah. On a long enough trajectory, literally everyone that's had Alzheimer's has died from it, or died.
Yeah.
I would make the argument everyone that has breathed, given long enough, has died.
Yeah. Yeah. For now.
For now.
For now.
What does that mean? Is that your long con? You're going to live forever? That's the long con.
That's my long
con.
con. I'm just poisoning you. That's the long con.
I was thinking maybe I could put a tapeworm in you and you're just losing weight.
I'd kill you.
And you're like, man, why? I just keep losing weight. I can't keep any weight on. I'm like, here, drink this. And I give you like the thing that kills it. And then you poop out a tapeworm. That'd be a good long
God,
con.
can you imagine?
Yeah.
God, that's so gross. You see those things of people with like the tapeworms that are just like 3 feet long coming out. God, I'd kill myself.
It's not a good time. That reminds me of something I saw earlier this week. Speaking of things coming out of people,
Gives me chills.
I saw this TikTok. This guy started pushing, and like where your, what would you call it? The V between your fingers.
The webbing.
The webbing, yeah, but I feel like more webbing is thumb and I guess a little bit.
I got webbing.
So between the V where your like fingers meet,
yeah.
dude starts pushing and this black stuff starts coming out. Pulls it out, and what it is he's a barber, and it's hairs that get embedded, like wet hairs, and it happens a lot with barbers and dog groomers. So I need to ask Rick. I'm due to go visit Rick. I need to ask him if he's ever had that. So I've heard people who do like. So I immediately started doing it, trying to see if I had anything. It didn't have anything in there. People that cut hair, they talk about hair splinters. Hair embeds in you from your customers or whatever.
That's gross.
But you could, when he
man.
did it, you could not see anything. And he starts doing it, and it looks like a big black splinter comes out. He pulls it, puts it on top of his hand, does like that, like spreads it, and it's like 12 hairs that were embedded in his finger V.
God, that's so disgusting. That grosses me out. That doesn't gross you out? Seriously?
Like that didn't for some reason, but like I think people need to be put in front of a firing squad that enjoy watching like Dr. Pimple Popper. Like that freaks me out. That disgusts me.
I'd much rather watch a pimple being popped.
No,
than
dude, this
that.
is literally just hair.
That's fine, but it's not his hair. It's
Right.
other people's hair that's going inside his body.
Right.
A pimple is something your own body produced, and now you just get.
But
rid
if you're
of.
on Dr. Pimple Popper, it's not just a pimple.
It's massive. It's,
like
it's
a
infected.
full-on like bukkake load is coming out of this
Yeah,
thing.
I'd still rather watch that
Not me,
than
bro.
that.
That's
That
just-
gross. God, that grosses me out. Just it's like a foreign object. Like at least the pimple's natural.
I feel like if you saw it, you wouldn't be as grossed out by
I
it
don't,
as
maybe
just thinking
not.
about
I
it.
don't know. It's like I get the shivers and the chills.
I need to
just
show
thinking
it to you
about
because it's not as like it's not as vile as a pimple.
God, I don't like that.
I mean, I don't like it. I don't want it to happen. I was nervous when I started doing it that some random shit was going to come out of my fingers.
I would be mortified. I would lose it. I would have a mental.
You might because
breakdown.
you have cats and you're petting them all the time.
No, I just did. No.
You might have cat hair
I
embedded.
do not. I just tried. There's nothing. I would know if something's in my hands. I would know.
That's what they all say.
Is that what they all say?
That's what I read in the comments.
Okay. Well, I don't have any. You have some.
I might. I mean, I tried. I tried to squeeze. Nothing. I didn't get anything.
Do you like popping your own pimples though?
I'm fine with that. Now, granted, I've never had one that would get me on a television show.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you need a big one. Like, how big have they gotten on you?
I mean, not that big. Pretty average, I would guess.
Yep.
That's massive. Like you're
Like
pointing it at the camera. You're not even pointing it at me. I can't
head?
see. That big? The head that big?
Well, just the whole thing that big, and then like a little head in the middle.
Like red that big?
Yeah.
Maybe red, like inflamed skin around it, but the pimple itself,
yeah,
tiny for the most part.
But you get some juice out of it,
Sure.
and it's satisfying, right?
I don't like it. I
you
do it
feel
just
good
to get
after,
it.
though.
I feel good that I got it out of me.
Yeah,
but,
it's a release.
but having the process of doing it, I don't enjoy. Like I just do it so it's not just this whitehead on my face.
Okay.
But I'm not like, I don't pop it and I'm like,
It's pretty satisfying. I like popping them. It's like a release.
That's
Feels
fine.
good.
I went to a wedding one time.
You popped a pimple?
You'll like this story. I went to a wedding. So actually, I was at the rehearsal dinner. So I was filling in. A friend of mine was out of town, and his girlfriend was in the wedding. Okay. And I was good friends with both of them, so I was filling in as her date.
Wow.
And then our friend Jordan went as well. And we're at the this is, I don't know if I should fuck it. The groom gets up to make his speech at the rehearsal dinner. And his thing was he had a very thick Southern accent.
Yeah.
And he was like, my mama told me that you'd found your wife if she's willing to pop the pimples on your back. And when so-and-so did that for the first time, that's when I knew.
Simple man.
And I was like, where the hell am I?
Good God. Why? Like, even if you kind of think that, like, why say that?
That's your speech.
Like, you got nothing else to say,
But-
or you just thought that was, like, quirky and cute, or...
And see, that's the thing. Because I couldn't tell if he was being silly, because he didn't laugh when he delivered this line. A lot of other people laughed. I was like, what is he saying? So I don't know if he was like, he thought, he was telling some from a story from the heart, or if he was being silly. Because the delivery was very deadpan, just, here's a fact. And then people laughed.
Me to you.
But, this has been a long time ago. But, they're married and happy with children, and
Yeah, so maybe that's the key to
here
love.
we are.
Yeah.
30, nearly 30.
Uh-huh.
You're weeks away from 30, huh?
Yep.
And we are talking about pimples and farts on a podcast. So who's really the winner?
Luckily, the best of our pimple years are behind us.
Well, let's hope so. Wouldn't that suck if all of a sudden
Yeah.
they just came back?
A lot of people have adult acne.
They
though.
do. I never
Very
really had
common-
it
very
that
common in
bad.
females.
Dumb bitches. Pimples all over your face.
Hormones.
Whores.
I had it terrible.
I didn't.
I had it terrible for like a year, and I used, and it could be coincidence, but I used Proactive for like a solid year. Stopped using it, never really came back. That was it. But
Yeah.
I will say, it was always a weird thing. If you saw somebody else with a pimple like on their face or something, because it was like, do you say anything or do you not say anything because you don't want to draw attention to it? I never said anything. But now that we're older, I'm like, if I have like a pimple or something, like I want somebody to tell me so I can get rid of it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've always been like that, especially with like close friends, because I would never do it like, because I've kind of always done it, because in my mind I'm like, please tell me if like that, or there's something in my teeth, or I got a booger in my nose, please let me know. So I'm just not like So, but whenever I could pull them, not even pull them aside, but when I knew I could tell them on there, I was like, hey, you got to pop it right here. And then they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was never like, hey,
Yeah,
hey, pizza face.
I went through like my life until I was older, like just noticing it and just staring at it, but not saying anything because I didn't want to draw attention to it.
I mean, that's nice in a way. You know? It was from a
I
good
wish I
place.
would have said it because I want somebody to say something to me.
Right.
But I guess I was going off of maybe if I was like 16, I would rather somebody not say anything to me because I don't want to. I would be embarrassed or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter now. I'll let you know though if you have one or a booger in your. I would let you know when there's boogers in your nose or something like pepper in your teeth or something.
Yeah. You did that a couple weeks ago before we started.
See?
Yeah.
Looking like a fool in front of all three of our subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah. So tell your friends about their pimples and this stuff in their teeth, and
Yeah. Tell them how ugly they are.
yeah.
Tell them about their flaws.
Mm-hmm. And if you really love somebody, pop the pimples in their back.
If you're trying to marry someone and you
No.
want to let them,
Nope.
if you want to subtly let them
No,
know
no.
that here's how you know I'm your ride or die.
No, I said do it to your friends.
Well, I will never do that to any of my friends. I can tell you that right now.
What if I had a nice juicy one sitting right on my back? You wouldn't pop it?
No. If you just like for my own
I couldn't
pleasure.
reach it. It was like right in the region. It was like right in the middle, and
Right.
I couldn't.
Now here's the thing: if it was just sheerly, like I'm like, hey man, let me get that for you. Never.
Mm-hmm.
If you were like, listen, I got this bump on my back. I have tried and tried.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot reach it, and it is hurting me. Will you help me out? I would do it
Yeah.
because I love you, but I would hate every moment of it. I would be wearing gloves. I'd be wearing goggles. I would have on
Jesus.
as close to a hazmat suit I could put on
Yeah.
like from around the house, just
Yeah.
in case it was a launcher. I would
Okay.
not want to, take a back cum shot from
Uh-huh.
you, popping your pimple. But I would do it if you were in
Yes,
if you were in
hate it.
severe pain and there was no one else. If you tried to get
Mm-hmm.
other people. Certainly don't let me be your first choice. Ask your family. You got
Yeah.
family here in Greenville. Ask them first. Ask any of our coworkers. Come to me when it is
God, you
when it
hate
is
it.
an emergency.
So you've never been in a relationship where you popped each other's pimples?
I have never popped someone else's pimple. I've had people pop mine,
Okay.
but
Alright.
never would I want to pop someone's pimple.
Okay. That's fine.
Thank you. I'm glad that's fine.
Yeah, it's just you hate it. That's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing. I don't understand.
I like popping them on other people.
What do you get out of that?
Just like when it pops, I think I relate to when I do it to myself. I think that it's probably the same thing with like videos and stuff. You relate to it when you do it to yourself. It's just like it's like
Videos.
like the pimple pop.
Oh, okay. I got
It's
you.
like but not to that extreme
Right,
extent.
right.
But it's almost like you have this like volcano that's ready to erupt, and like you're the catalyst, and you just like release it, and you're releasing like, and it feels good afterwards. I feel like there's almost a little bit of endorphins or something too that happens. I don't know. For me, it's like if I feel something, it's just like, ooh, I gotta get it. I'm ready for it to come out, and I just pop it, and it's like, ooh, a release, and that's nice. I don't know. And then you can relate that to other people if you're doing it for them.
Well, I'll just never.
I like it.
I'm glad anything that makes you happy, man. I'm
Like I don't want it on me. I don't want it to hit me in the face or
Sure.
anything. But if it gets on my hands, I'm fine with that. I'll just wash them.
right. Cool. Well, yeah, I'm happy for you that brings you pleasure and
I haven't popped somebody else's pimple in a long time though, itching.
okay.
So if there's anybody out there looking for a pimple popper, maybe I'm your guy.
You can pop mine. I don't care.
Okay. do you get back ones? Like a little.
Very, very rarely.
It's like the
If
only
I-
place I get them. Like every once in a while.
I'd say 99.9 of the ones I get now, which are pretty few and far between, are just like usually like in the little crease of my nose there, or
Yeah,
like
oily
on the tip,
place.
kind of.
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Mm.
I'll get some ingrown hairs here and there.
Yeah, that's
you know,
different.
but
that's different. That doesn't have that same volume to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much my nose
Mm.
every now and then. small.
Well, yeah, just let me know, I guess.
Okay, yeah. If I wake up because that's usually I'll wake up and when I'm brushing my teeth or whatever, put my contacts in.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give it the old once over, see if how awful I look that day. If I got anything on my face, I'll call you. I'll walk over. Hey, man.
All right, thanks.
Papa needs you. Not really, but
Just trying to make you happy.
you're just like all lined up. I see a bulge in your pants growing.
Then I
my
come
nose
as
is
it- as
busting.
that
You're
pops.
busting. Are you there? Are you there?
That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be really cool. In all honesty, if you popping a pimple on my nose would make you
I wouldn't.
would bring you to climax, I'd be happy to do that for you.
No.
I'd be happy to let
No,
you do
you
that,
wouldn't.
and you sure if
You would not.
if you're just busting
Stop lying.
loads just from simply doing that, I would love to be there for you.
I bet people do like incorporate that into their sexual activities. There's got to be some
for
people.
sure. Yeah, definitely.
That's in some porns.
You could find it.
You could easily
Super
find
easy.
It. Yeah. Pimple popping.
Super easy. Like that's like tier 1 weird.
It's like
That's
they
not
pop,
even-
Yeah, it's like they pop it on the wiener and then she like licks it off or
Yeah.
something.
That's PG stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. All right. You got anything else?
Do I have anything else? Part of me feels like I'm forgetting something, but because I feel like there was something I was going to tell you a few weeks ago and then didn't tell you. Like I was like, oh, I need to tell you this on the podcast. It was one of those where I couldn't tell you in person. Do you remember me saying that to you recently?
I don't know. You said it a few times.
Oh my God.
But even if I remembered, it wouldn't make you remember what it
If you
was.
could give me the context of when I said it, I'd remember.
So it's my fault.
It's your fault.
It's always my fault. I'm always the one. I'm tired.
I don't know. There was something though, and then I realized, like, damn it, I forgot. And I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and or 3. I've done it twice, and then remembered it. It doesn't matter.
I don't know.
Doesn't matter. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care.
Yeah. Me either.
Who cares, man? Do you understand?
Jesus. All right. Shouts out to Spring Break. Shouts out to Pimples out there. And I know what not shouts out, because I know what wedding you're talking about. Not shouts out to dry weddings. That's the dumbest thing in the whole world. That's so stupid. Like, you're going to have
We're really
this,
narrowing it
this
down
whole-
now. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it
Like I said,
doesn't.
they're happy.
Shouts out to you.
Thanks, man.
Sorry you couldn't remember. I don't know. I don't know. I just don't know.
No, you're right, and it's that's misdirected anger. I apologize.
And I'm sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for.
Shouts out to Brad, I guess, and Emerald Agassi. Bam. Yeah, that's all I got.
Shouts out to you, man. This has been a real pleasure. Glad you're here today. You remember how a few weeks ago we talked about if one of us died, what would we do?
Yeah.
Would it be? Here's another question. I just thought of this. Would it be fine if 1 week, like one of us is like trapped in like the Amazon or something, to have someone fill in? Would that then count as our streak that we've never missed?
I mean,
It would,
I
right?
don't know why you need somebody to fill in, but yeah, I guess.
You think you could fill an hour on your own?
No, you don't even have to do the hour. You could just say whatever for a little bit and just be like, oh, well, we're still doing it.
But
Like, even, see, our streak, I don't think our streak is dependent on time. Like, we could come on for a 5-minute podcast and it would still be.
I don't like that.
That's true, though.
Let's not let that be true. We've never gone under an hour as far as I remember. If
That's
we have,
still-
it's like 58 minutes.
Yeah, but that's
Always been the goal from day one.
Yeah, but
we
still,
do at least an hour.
we still did it that week, though. Or, I mean, I don't know. That's just what I think.
So you're saying if
You could have a 10-minute podcast on your own if somebody was stranded in.
and that would count.
Yeah, in my mind.
All right. Well, let's hope you get stranded.
Yeah.
That way they still get an hour of entertainment.
You're gonna do it now.
With some, I'm gonna have someone fill in. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Like, would that count if we filled in
yeah,
with someone?
I mean, yeah, you can't blame
the
getting
Amazon.
lost in the Amazon.
Shout
I can guarantee you right now, I will not be stranded in the Amazon though. That is one of the last places I would go.
really?
One of the last.
Wow.
Yes. It's very hot and
Very
muggy
humid.
and
Yeah,
gross.
it's about
And
as humid as it gets.
you're gonna, God, if you're out there, you're gonna die if you're out there too long. Something's gonna get you.
You're gonna need a guide.
Yeah. I have no desire. I have no desire to do that. I'm sorry.
You don't. Again, nothing to apologize for.
Okay.
I don't think the Amazon's listening right now. I'd love to go there. Just to see
Actually,
it,
I'm
like,
glad
one
that
time.
people are just cutting it down, just getting rid of it.
Hot take.
I'm not. Don't do it. It's bad.
Don't do it as bad. Shouts out Anacondas. Shouts out barbers. I said shouts out to you. Shouts out aluminum cans.
Ooh.
Shouts out those all-timers. Just timeless, man. Those all-timers, son. Shouts out Brooklyn-style pizza and Gravity and Stairs. And shouts out Danny. Thank you again, man.
Thank you
for your following up. Yeah, and shouts out everyone that is hearing / seeing this right now. Appreciate you guys. If you have anything, any thoughts, comments, anything, you can comment on the YouTube videos. You can email us at thegreyboysatlarge@gmail.com.
Yep.
/
Hell, yeah. If you want to be on the podcast, like Danny, like we'll set something up.
Story. When we got phones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess that'll do it, huh? For all of us here at
ABC Columbia.
yeah, for all of us here at Greyboys Media LLC Inc. Core. We'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.